Computers are so powerful they can put a man on the moon. But did you ever know that computers can put love in your heart? This week we're talking about Pixar.
I loved it.
You guys wanted wholesome. I gave you.
That was
wholesome.
good.
I don't think that was wholesome.
That was good.
I was expecting a Careless Whisper to start playing.
That was really good.
Thank you.
I enjoyed it.
You know what? I take the positive feedback where I can get it.
Where's the saxophone? Where's the saxophone when you need it?
I wish I knew how to play sax just to be able to do Careless Whisper live.
I wish I just knew how to play an instrument. That'd be kind of
Back
awesome.
to this. We're back to this.
Did we talked about this before?
Yeah, and the musical episode.
Did we?
We're coming full circle.
Yeah, we mentioned how Chris wanted to have the whole production done during the podcast, and he asked if anyone can either play instruments or sing, and then we went into it.
Classic tangent.
Sounds about right. I don't know. I don't really remember it.
Yeah. How's everybody doing?
I was about to do the intro, Tyler. You cut me right off.
Hey, come on, Tyler. We got a setup going.
God, Jesus. Hey, everybody. Welcome to 321 Binge. I'm your host, Chris, followed by my co-hosts, Faison.
Hello.
And by the voice of Doug himself, Tyler.
I like this new bit, which is different every week.
I had to think of it on the fly, and that was really the first thing that came to mind when I looked at you.
Yeah, I like this.
I like
Yeah,
it.
I like
I'm going to keep doing this. And this week, if you guys haven't figured it out already, we're talking about the titans of the animation industry, Pixar. And to start us off, Faison.
Yeah, our first movie we're talking about is Soul, which was released like
A week ago,
maybe.
Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas. It follows a middle school music teacher named Joe Gardner, who, like most teachers, kind of hates his job, hates his life.
Those are strong words, very strong words that I don't think I agree with 100%.
Like a lot of teachers.
I mean, I agree with those words, but I don't agree.
Especially music teachers.
I could also agree with those words, but
basically he's like, I don't know, 40 something, and he's looking to get his big breakthrough in jazz. It's never happened just yet. He's a jazz musician, yeah. And right as he gets it, he gets to play with Dorothea Williams. And right as he gets the job, he walks out, has a heart attack, and dies.
What? What movie did you watch, Faison?
He fell down.
Or he fell down, sorry.
Open, yeah.
Yeah, same shit. I don't know, man.
That's
Pretty different.
Whatever, man.
I don't think you watched the movie.
I think
I
just
did.
watched the trailers.
No, I actually watched. Come on, man. Stop. But basically, he ends up going into the great beyond.
Yeah.
And somehow, sneaks his way into being one of the mentors, and is mentoring a like a little. What are they called even?
I call him a pre-soul, but I don't think.
I don't think that's the term used, but like there's souls that haven't been born yet. So these mentors go in to try and find their passion, what they might like when they are alive, and once they do that, they can be born.
Their spark, so to speak.
Yeah. So we follow 22, who is a pre-soul,
the 22nd soul ever.
That has been mentored by the likes of Gandhi and Abraham Lincoln,
Mother
Teresa. That all just she just doesn't want to. She doesn't want to live life normally. Doesn't want to live a real life.
Mood.
And at the same time, Joe's also trying to get back to his body because he finally had that one breakthrough he needed.
Yeah.
And that's the gist of the movie.
I mean, yeah, that is the gist of the movie.
Yeah, it's really existential for Pixar, even by Pixar standards where they're going now.
Yeah, we me and Tyler.
Do you think so though?
I mean, yeah, Toy Story.
They came out Inside Out.
Yeah,
but
same director, yeah.
He's kind of pushed forward these it's the same director as Up, who did Soul.
Yeah.
And Inside Out, and I think he did another
Monsters
one.
Inc.
He did Monsters Inc. So he's kind of in the I'd say the driving force of these types of movies.
Yeah.
I would argue he's kind of been pushing for this more heavy attitude towards storytelling, which I really appreciate.
Although Toy Story 4 wasn't him, but that also had a more existential vibe.
Toy Story 4 is a movie that I have mixed feelings on because it has a very interesting idea and theme to it, but it has poor execution in a lot of places. It holds it back.
I think it's fine. It's an epilogue. It didn't need to be there, but I enjoyed it.
I just hate that they butchered Woody and Buzz's relationship completely throughout that movie, and it's kind of
Nonetheless,
we just pretend Toy Story ended at Toy Story 3. That's what I like to do.
I actually like the idea of Toy Story.
So do I, but
I
I feel like
contrived feelings.
Toy Story 3 was such a perfect send off.
yeah, which is why 4 is simply an epilogue. You like get to not catch up. You get to see where they're at now.
Yeah,
Yeah. Either way, Pixar's gotten fucking dark lately.
it has. I'd agree.
Inside Out is it has some darker moments to it towards the end.
But it's still kids enjoy it and still like not marketed toward kids only because every Pixar movie could be for anybody. But I mean, kids definitely
It's very kid focused.
Would go to that compared to Soul, which is what happens after
depressing.
death. What do you do with your life?
What's the point of it all?
Soul really just feels like an adult animation.
Yeah,
Like, just because it was released by Pixar doesn't mean it's like a kids movie, you know?
no.
It's funny. I also feel like you say, it's like it feels like an adult animation. I agree with that actually a lot in a way. Like, I mean, like you said, any Pixar movie can be made for anyone. But Soul, more than anything else, its style of animation, especially like for like the world of like, the actual living world, it's very like people have these very unique character designs, and the world feels so realistic. Like it's borderline photorealistic CGI. Like there's scuffs on the walls in the bar. There's dirt on the side of the subway. You can see like the leaves in the trees moving. Everything feels kind of dirty and gritty and down to earth and real. And it's really, I think that kind of makes it feel almost more like it's marketed towards adults. It doesn't have that cartoonish feeling to it.
No, not at all.
When he's in the real world. You can make the argument when he's in the afterlife, but even like parts
even
of the
then,
afterlife
not
feel
really.
so cold.
I don't think
like
it's
when he's staring into the white light. That's just such like it's just such a non-children's movie image.
Yeah.
Of people going into the great abyss.
Every time while he's in the afterlife, these beings called Jerry's are basically directing everybody and running the place.
The great before when the Jerry's.
Great before, right? Yeah. So when he's there, they keep mentioning it's like, oh, you're done. It's like, oh, they think he's a mentor. It's like, oh, you did your job. Time to go back to the great beyond. When they open the poster and it just is that music, it gets me every time.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah. I'd say Soul's a pretty funny movie as well. Like it has its good. It has a fair bit of like just good bits. Like that's one. It has like a bunch of history jokes that I fucking love. You guys love the Knicks bit.
Yeah, that Knicks bit's so funny.
I like the Marie Antoinette joke more than anything else. I should have the right to. It has.
I gotta find what the exact Knicks joke was because it was kind of cruel.
Oh, 22, the soul we mentioned before that he partners up with, she describes how she spent her time in the afterlife fucking with these lost souls, which are just roaming around.
Well, it was with people in the zone.
Yeah, you're right. She was fucking with people in the zone, which is basically when you get really into whatever you're doing or whatever activity you're doing, you're just not caring about anything else around you. You're just in the zone. So she's like, oh, I've been fucking with these guys for decades. And it cuts to a Knicks player going up for a dunk and like completely missing.
That was a great bit.
Hey, but I mean, spoiler for the end of the movie, 22 gets out. So, hey, maybe the Knicks could win. Maybe. Once.
Way to ruin the movie for all the people who came to a podcast talking about the movie, Tyler.
Yeah. What's wrong with you?
Absolutely butcher that for them. Ruin their experience. You bastard.
Really, we doing this?
Yeah, I am. But yeah, I know that between the three of us here, there are actually surprisingly different opinions about this movie. So I think I'll start with mine. I really like this movie.
I also really like it. But saying that Pixar has so many amazing movies that even though saying this is great and is the best movie I've seen this year because nothing fucking came out this year.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen very much this year, so it's kind of unfair.
Yeah, this is probably the best movie I've seen this year.
It's either this or Wonder Woman 1984. Oh boy.
Ooh, real tough competition there.
Who's it gonna be?
It's the funniest movie I've seen this year.
High praise for me.
I don't know, man. Soul's pretty funny.
I don't know. I wasn't dying laughing the way Wonder Woman made me laugh.
I mean, I was dying.
There's a difference between comedic laughter and just laughing because you're in pain, Tyler.
Wasn't in pain. I was just laughing because of stupidity.
I think Tyler doesn't know the difference.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, Soul is the best movie I've seen this year. But even then, I think because I looked through Pixar's whole list of what they did, I think it could be like top 9, top 8. It probably have it. You can probably argue for it to go higher, but it's definitely in that range for me.
I actually have the Pixar tier list up right now. Still, it is top 5 for me.
Okay, we'll talk about the tier list at the end.
Yeah, I guess it's gonna be a multi-list episode.
Yeah.
Just because I do feel like it'd be good to see our rankings for Pixar movies.
I mean, we already have 3 lists going on. The 3 lists with these 3 movies, and then the Pixar list, and then a list of what this director's best is. Because he did out of those 4. I mean, that's easy to do. It's 4 movies compared.
I guess that's fair.
And again, one of them we're going to be talking about anyway.
That's also a fair point.
Yeah,
however, did not like Soul, right?
Yeah, my biggest problem with this movie is that the ending just felt like a bit of a cop-out.
You think?
Yeah. Because he went through this whole journey throughout, like trying to figure out
his purpose.
His purpose, right? And I don't know. I just always felt like, hold on, you guys talk for a little bit. Let me think. I gotta think of how to word this.
He's going through the movie. He's desperately trying to get back to being alive because he thinks that once he gets this jazz position, he would be.
Yeah, he'll be fulfilled. But I just feel like him coming to terms with the fact that he should have been enjoying the little things in life instead of trying to be too focused on his one big goal. And the fact that he learns that, like in the what's it called? The Great Beyond.
Yep.
I felt that it could have just ended there with him just like fully dying. I think that him coming back to life kind of takes away from the overall message of the movie.
See,
I
we're gonna say the same thing.
Well, maybe I'm gonna go on a bit of a tangent, but I almost agree with you, Faison, and I kind of felt that way the first time I watched it. Because especially going into this movie, I knew very little, right? I just knew that he's going to die and he's going to go into like this afterlife. So in my head, I kind of pictured this movie as one part Inside Out, one part A Wonderful Life, and one part 12 People I Meet in Heaven, whatever that book is called. I think, Tyler, you've read it?
12...
Someone I know has read that book. I can't be making it up.
Are you talking about 7 Pounds, the Will Smith movie?
No, it's a book. It's a book.
I got nothing, but keep going.
Hold on. I actually gotta find this out because I'm gonna go fucking crazy.
All right, while you look, I like the ending because he does
5 People You Meet in Heaven.
Okay,
that's the name of the book. Okay, let me just get back I'm back on the train of thought. I thought it was gonna be a mix of that. So I thought he was gonna die, right? He was gonna die young. He was gonna spend the movie trying to, pretty much refusing to accept that he was gonna die. Yeah. And then it was kind of going to be like, It's a Wonderful Life thing where he's going to realize things in his life that did have value, these like small moments and stuff like that. He was eventually going to accept that he's passed away and he's going to go into the great beyond. That was, for some reason, the movie that I built up in my head before watching this.
Yeah.
This is a distinctly different movie than that, with a completely different message. I would say that the movie I built in my head and this film are 2 massively different things. Absolutely nowhere near one another.
Okay.
So I definitely feel that the first time I watched it, a lot of those expectations I had kind of weighed on the film, especially in the film's second act when it takes a bit of a weird turn, which we'll get to in a minute. And then also with the ending, where in my head, he should have died. On a second watch, because I did watch this movie twice, because I wanted to I didn't know how I felt about it after the first time. I wanted to kind of solidify it. I think that the fact that he does live is kind of what sells the message of the movie. The whole point is that basically the whole point of the movie is that he keeps thinking that he's trying to find the 22 spark, right? Which is her passion, her reason for living, the thing to wake her up in the morning, because that's how he feels about music.
Because he thinks it's one thing.
Yeah, he thinks it's this one thing that he was meant to do. This is his purpose in life. And the point of the movie, as the Jerrys tell him that, humans, you guys and your purpose, it's never about your purpose. It's just the thing that shows that you're ready to live. So what matters about life is just living every second of it. There is no thing that you need to obsess yourself with as your reason for living. Your reason for living just is to live.
Because that goes back to the Lost Souls thing. Because some of those people only became obsessed.
Yeah.
Like the one, stockbroker.
Yeah, there's a thin line between like passion and obsession.
Yeah.
Like you see this guy in the Lost Souls area who was a gold, like a treasure hunter type guy with like a metal detector, and you hear him like kind of saying to himself, gotta find it, and he eventually turns into a lost soul. Because it is a very thin line between being passionate and really loving something and just becoming absolutely obsessed and controlled by something. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's a fair point to make in the movie. So I think that basically by him not dying, it is him learning the lesson. You know, like he spent his life obsessed with music and obsessed with
I don't know. It just feels very, very cliche to me for him to come back to life.
I think that
I don't think I agree with that.
I think if he didn't, because he learns this lesson in the afterlife. So if he doesn't come back, what would be the point of learning it? He's going to be like, oh, I learned all this and now I can't do anything.
There's no place
with
to
it.
apply it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's dead.
Exactly. So then that's kind of like a.
But like, I don't know.
The point is he can live his life better now than he was before.
Yeah. Because if he doesn't do that, then he's like, "Oh, I'm stuck." Like, I guess
Man,
stuck here.
It feels so cool to be on like the not single-minded side of the situation.
Yeah, it's gonna be a weird episode.
Yeah, Faison's the one with the hot takes today.
Yeah, but I saw those comments that people would rather he remain dead. But I think the lesson, like we get the lesson, but then that just makes Joe as a character lose in the end. And
which I think would have made the message a little more impactful.
I don't know how much I agree with that.
Because you find this one person who's had this single like obsession, as you're saying, and it literally ruins his life. And there is no second chance.
Faison really wanted to depress the children.
But it didn't ruin
It's not a kid's
life.
movie, bro.
But it didn't exactly ruin his life either.
I mean, but he wasn't happy with his life.
Yeah, like he does say that line in the film to his mother when he speaks to his mother. He says, I just worry that if I died today, that my life would amount to nothing. But he's saying that line still with the perspective that music is his purpose and that he has always been meant to get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's saying that line under this point of view, which by the end of the movie he realizes is wrong. Because up until that point in the movie, he's still incorrect. Like that's the point. He's still wrong at that point. So like I would argue that maybe ruined his life is a strong way of putting it, but he certainly not appreciate it. Because by the end of the movie, he looks like he has this scene before he like helps 22 escape, or he helps 22 come to life, I should say, where he kind of like looks back at all these moments of his life and he sees the value of them.
Oh,
so that's like his life. Yeah, when he's playing the piano.
No, like I was about to say that scene. You see those moments at the beginning of the movie, and it becomes across as, oh, he's sad, he's lonely, he's alone eating in a diner. He sees other moments, but they show those same moments in the scene you're talking about, and it's no, he's not sad. He's enjoying a pie in a diner,
in on Christmas or in the winter or something. Yeah, about like it's like the appreciation of those moments is important. So like his life wasn't ruined or wasted. He just didn't know to appreciate it.
Yeah,
and I think getting the second lease on life is basically giving him the opportunity to appreciate the things he would never have because he had become so obsessed with music.
Much like,
I guess,
like similar to A Wonderful
Life.
I
can see where you're coming from.
Yeah, I mean that's. I mean, yeah, it still I think does have similarities to A Wonderful Life, even if like kind of taken to a different angle. I thought it was going to go a lot heavier into that comparison. For some reason, I don't know why. I had that expectation. I have no idea why I thought that.
Also, I want to point out, I like how every time It's a Wonderful Life gets brought up, the whole summary and the thing that gets parodied is the last 30 minutes.
It's a good last 30 minutes, though.
I know, but it's still funny. It's like, oh, you want to see the movie where an angel comes down and helps somebody? It's like, sure. It's like, yeah, that's the ending. The whole movie is his life.
Good ending. It's a very good movie. Like it's an absolute classic, that film.
Do you describe? But it's like describing a Sixth Sense with that ending.
Are you worried to spoil the ending of Sixth Sense? Why did you dance around the movie that came out in the 90s?
I don't know. It doesn't matter, but like, you get the point.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It is an interesting point to cover it that way.
Yeah.
Either way, I do think that it is good that he did not die at the end of this movie.
Mm-hmm, same.
I will also say that between everything that we watched here this week, this is the thing that hit the strongest for me in several notes. And I'll probably end up explaining more of that as we talk about the third movie on this list up, because I think there's a lot of comparisons for me to bring up there.
I
but
do
for
wanna
now,
hear-
I'll leave it at that, and I'll bring
Okay.
it back up when we get there, just so that it's a little organized. Give you guys something to wait for.
But Chris, you had negatives about the.
I did have one major negative, and this was definitely something that I felt most strongly when I first watched it, and it kind of the edges kind of smooth though. I feel like that's for all things. Like the more that you either watch something or the more time between things, the edges that kind of upset you about a piece of work kind of tend to even off.
Yeah.
They're not as poignant.
Yeah, like
And in
maybe
this
on a
case-
second watch, I'd be okay with the ending. Who knows?
It is always hard to say. I like to watch movies multiple times, even movies that I don't necessarily like the first time,
Yeah.
just in case. And like sometimes after a second watch, I can certainly say I did not like this movie. There are certain movies that no matter how many times I've seen them, nope, opinion can't change. But
Team
there
America?
are times that I felt, God, I'm not giving that one a fucking second chance.
Damon.
Fuck off. But yeah, there is a choice in the middle of this movie where basically 22 and it's Joe, right?
Yeah, Joe.
22 and Joe, they end up coming back to Earth, but 22 is possessing Joe's body, and Joe is possessing the body of a cat, which leads to a fucking hilarious cutaway where they ask what happened to the soul of the cat as you see
Yeah,
his
yeah,
soul
that
on
was
the
funny.
railway to the abyss. Fucking
That
killed
was so
me.
funny.
Oh, I love that. That was absolutely.
Just that little stupid cat sitting there.
I can't. It's so funny. It's so funny.
Just like a shocked look.
It's just not understanding. It's looking into
Yeah.
the face of God, and it's just
Like, how did I get here?
oh, and that joke kills me.
But what did he do? He did nothing, and he's
He
dead.
did nothing to get this. But yeah. So that in part, I think I didn't like that part because again,
But like, do
it-
you
it
mean
was
the
a-
actual like
that
the
actual
actual
plot
soul
line.
switching?
yeah, like
Yeah, I didn't
Joe's
like
in
that
a
at
cat.
all either.
So when I first watched it, I definitely did not like it. I think in part because again, I had this expectation for the film it didn't meet at all. And in my head, him coming back to life at all, let alone being this cat, was this weird deviation that didn't really work for me. And even on a second watch, I do think it is probably one of the weaker parts of the movie, but I do see its value.
I think the whole point of that plot was to show that show for 22 that like life is worth living because you can enjoy the
It
small
is.
things. Like
It
that was the
is.
whole point of it.
I don't
that
think
they
that's the
could have
whole
done
point,
it
though.
better.
I think it also provides Joe with an outsider perspective into
Yeah.
his own life,
Well, that-
which
that
lets
too.
him appreciate things and lets him do things he wouldn't otherwise, like talking to his barber and speaking to his mother frankly about his life choices.
Yeah, I
Even
think it
this-
could have been
yeah.
done better.
I think it could have probably been done better. I think on the second watch, I definitely enjoyed it more with that purpose of it's trying to give
Yeah.
him an outsider perspective on his own life. I do think, and this is something that I might have mentioned before. Disney has a trend of turning people into animals in their movies.
Yeah, they do.
They do, and like I
you know what
this
it is though? It's like kids enjoy that shit.
Well, here's the thing. There's actually a larger discussion about this because usually it's almost always like a person of color gets turned into an animal. So Brother Bear, Emperor's New Groove, Princess and the Frog, this one. There's a much larger
Wow.
discussion about it's a pretty common trend. It is, however, a very it's like an ancient story trope. Like genuinely fucking ancient. Like there's a lot of Inuit legends about people turning into seals, or there's a lot of like myths and legends about people turning into animals. I think there's even some like Greek stories about like someone turning into a stag.
It's
It's a
basically
very
in
common trope.
every like ancient culture. There's
Yeah.
some kind of story.
Yeah, it is worth noting that like this is like a bit of a weird trend that Disney always tends to do it to like their person of color, and then like Princess and the Frog is like the first black princess, right? Like that
Yeah.
she's really famous for that. She's the frog for like 9/10 of the movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like that I know was a point of contention against the film, among other things. I think I've talked a bit about my thoughts on that movie in the past, in our Disney episode. But I think it's something worth bringing up here because I know there's a very important discussion about that. So I'm not the person to probably talk about that. I didn't have a problem with Emperor's New Groove personally because Kusuke turned into a llama. Then again, we had Paka there. So, you know.
I think the same thing could kind of be said for Soul because when I saw the trailer, I understood what people was upset about because I thought he was just gonna be the soul greenish body the whole movie.
So
But when he returns, for the most part, he's more of a human than the soul for most of the movie, I would say, or maybe half and half.
Well, he's a cat.
Well, okay,
Like,
his actual body
his
is
human
there.
body is there.
Yeah, you still
Occupied
see
by Tina Fey.
Yeah.
Which I know
by
that
the way,
some-
people are very upset about that, and I don't know why.
See,
They
I was
found
gonna
her
say some people
annoying.
are-
They found
Well,
her
I mean,
annoying.
No,
I mean,
I've seen a lot of this is a white savior film.
She's not
I
saving
don't
him.
think I'd call it a white savior film. I do know that there are people who kind of were upset that like it's like, or at least maybe if not upset, at least that it rubbed them the wrong way. That like you kind of just it's not really a black person. That might be a weird way to put it. I know that there are people upset with this, and it's a larger discussion.
But the thing is, right? Like, she's not a real person.
Yeah.
She's not even a person yet.
I mean, yeah.
Just because it's voiced by Tina Fey doesn't mean it's Tina Fey.
Well, you got to
She
look
could
at
also no wait. She can change her voice too. She does a scene.
That's okay. Here's the thing though. Like that is like saying that you guys ever see Transformers 2?
The Michael Bay one or
Michael Bay? Yeah, the Michael Bay one.
Okay.
Yeah, you remember the two Kia cards who
Yes.
were basically stereotypical black people?
Yeah.
Like that was what they were based tropes off. Technically speaking, you can say, well, they get their voices from listening to the radio. Like that's what the text says, but there's always a meta text when it comes to analyzing a film that needs to also be taken into consideration. That's equally important. Like, sure, technically speaking, these robots could just get that because they analyze radio waves to design their voices. That's what Transformers do. But there's kind of a larger thing being said about Michael Bay directly turning these two characters into massive stereotypes.
Right.
And that is a bigger discussion in itself.
But how would you connect that to this?
I don't think that
well, the
applies
meta text
to
says
Soul.
that the meta text says that 22 can transform her voice into anything because she's not a pre-made soul. That's what the text says. The meta text says that it's just a white chick because it is.
But she said she chose that voice to be annoying.
That's the text, not the meta text.
Two
distinctly different things. So I can understand the upsetness about it. I personally haven't read too heavily into the argument about it because I've been busy watching these movies. But I do know of it, and I kind of understand why people are upset. I think that's not like for me. That's not like I think that this overall like this trope of turning him into an animal and even arguably not necessarily bringing back to life, but this whole trope of having them like having their soul switched.
Yeah,
it's not necessary at all for the movie.
Yeah,
Whereas
I don't
like
think
if you
so.
take like a movie like Brother Bear, where like a person turns into an animal, it is important for the character and the narrative and the theme, and it works well. Here, if anything, I think it bogs it down. So I still have a problem with this scene, regardless.
I do have a problem with the scene.
I have a
With the
problem
cat
with
scene, you mean?
the whole
Yeah.
cat thing. Yeah, I think that no matter how you crunch it, it's unnecessary and bogs the movie down. If you wanted to do like an out of soul perspective, you could have honestly kept him as his soul shape, like on the shoulder. He didn't need to be a physical cat. Like it's just weird and clunky, and it's not a great device. It's overall messy, and I think it kind of bogs that chunk of the movie down, despite the fact that it's doing really interesting stuff at the same time.
Yeah.
See, like when the scene happened, I immediately knew that was the scene you were talking about.
Yeah, I texted you that it makes a weird choice in the second act.
Yeah, so when that happened, I'm like, oh, okay. One, I wish we would have just stayed in the afterlife because I like to learn about that shit.
That was the movie I had in my head. Yeah.
But okay, as it continued, and it was like, oh, he's 22's Joe now. She's learning how to live through him, and he's learning his life through that. I'm like, okay, it works along. It hit a bumpy road. It's smoothed out. It doesn't the movie kind of takes a hit, but it's not like a drop off completely.
Yeah, that's more or less my thoughts about it.
Mhm.
That even though I think it's clunky and it bogs it down, it's still doing really good, like fucking crazy good shit with its characters at the same time.
Speaking of characters, I do love the hippie, whatever his name was.
Oh yeah, Moonshine Man.
Came in riding, listening to Bob Dylan.
The hippies are surprisingly fun. I thought that they were gonna end up coming off as like just too stupid for my tastes, like just a really dumb decision. But no, actually, they were just fun.
I thought they fit really well.
Yeah, they did. I agree. I was surprised by how much that fact that I didn't hate them. They ended up being really fun. I mean, I also just like a lot of the interactions between characters in this movie. Like you have Daveed Diggs' character, Paul. Yeah,
He's in the movie for literally 3 seconds.
he's in the movie for 3 seconds, but like he has.
But you
some
know
really,
his voice.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
immediately. But like he has like some really great interactions with like 22, and then also with Joe, and then also with Terry, who is the accountant who is trying to get Joe's soul into the afterlife.
Honestly,
the white
I think
void.
he has the funniest moment for me, and it comes in the back end. No, it comes in the back end, like very close to the ending.
Oh, you mean when they figure out how to make sure that Joe gets
Yeah.
another chance? Tyler, do you want to cover that bit because it's fucking great?
Yeah, so the end of the movie is Joe saves 22 for becoming a lost soul because she gets really depressed and immediately thinks that she's like worthless and stuff like that. So Joe saves her and she's allowed to be born. And as a reward, the Terrys say that you can have a second chance. And he asks about, wait, what about the account? He knows that I'm not supposed to be alive. And they're like, oh, we have a plan for that. And instead of anything convoluted, anything complicated, one of the terrorists simply goes up to him and says, hey, Jerry, hey, look at that. What? What's that? What? Were you talking? I don't even know. Were you talking? And then he moved the count to make it correct. But just him asking, were you even talking? Was the funniest thing to me.
This is this is not only a funny movie. I think because like we said, this director's done a bunch of stuff. I think it's just a really funny director. Like, because this movie, Up is really funny. Monsters Incorporated is really funny. I don't remember Inside Out that well, but probably really funny.
It had some funny points.
I can't remember. I have to rewatch that one.
Inside Out's a little more serious.
No, it is serious. No, nothing soul.
Oh,
but it is serious. There is funny moments. I remember like near the end of Inside Out, they had the moment where they zoomed in on everybody else's emotions, so you see how they're thinking.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the dad just all had mustaches on, and they were like.
This director does comedy really well.
Yeah,
he hits a really good balance of like emotional core and really funny moments.
Mm.
And I think this movie ultimately hits a really good balance of a lot of things. I know that Tyler, you tweeted out that like you weren't sure if kids would like this movie.
I really don't think they would.
I'm also kind of curious.
Although
I don't know how I'd feel as a movie. I feel like this was a movie that I'm glad I watched right now because I think this is when it hits me the best.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I don't know if I was a child, if I would be in the right place to watch this movie. I think I'm just aimless enough right now that this is the movie I should watch.
Yeah. As a child, I would not have enjoyed this, I think.
According to Reddit thread, like that question was asked,
and
as I went through it, a bunch of parents were saying, "Yeah, my 2 kids, like young kids, enjoyed it. They may not have like got it, but they still enjoyed it. Some said, oh, they really got it. Their grandpa recently passed, so they really connected it and actually started asking about death and shit. So
that's
actually maybe it would. See, I didn't
you
really
got
have
some
that
people
experience growing up.
Yeah, and then you got some people say just like they were not with it. So Chris is a ghost in his room.
No, I could have sounded like a gunshot. I'll check on that in a few hours.
Chris is an angry ghost in his room.
But what the fuck was I gonna say? I like this movie. I think it's a really good movie. I think it has a really interesting message to it. I think it's the most heavy thing that Pixar's ever done, and I think it's just really interesting to me. I find this movie.
I think it's good. I definitely didn't enjoy it as much as you did. I think, but
yeah, I do think I enjoyed it the most out of the three of us here. I do kind of want to go over, I guess, like some of the best scenes of the movie that aren't straight comedy. Like one, he has like there's 2 that come to mind for me as being kind of like best scenes in the film. Of those, one of them is when he first talks to his mother, or when he talks to his mother. When he comes
with 22,
with 22 in his body. I just think that scene's fucking fantastic. Like
it is.
The switch from 22's voice to his is absolutely perfect. And
the voice acting in general between Tina Fey and Jamie Foxx throughout is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, performances in this are fantastic. And I think that whole sequence is very emotional and very, very poignant. And I really, really enjoy it. And my personal favorite scene in the movie has to be, it comes in the tail end. It's like the climax of the film. 22 ends up back in the before life.
Yep.
And she ends up becoming a lost soul, pretty much believing that she'll never be good enough to live. And it pretty much takes Joe coming to her and showing her that like pretty much the value in life is living to break her from that.
Yep.
And I think that's easily my favorite scene.
I love that scene a lot, actually.
That scene's fucking fantastic.
Both those scenes. The whole movie, I still think is great. Obviously, those 2 scenes are the
moments.
Yeah, those are probably the 2 biggest standout scenes.
Yeah.
Another scene I also really liked is when Joe and 22 are looking through Joe's memories.
Oh yeah.
That's the end one? When you like the one we said before with the pie?
Well, I think the first one when
the first scene, in like the very beginning.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's good too.
I really like them. I mean, also the one with where he's like playing piano and he goes into zone and he's like getting into all those memories that he had that were actually so important. I think that's another fantastic scene. I think that's a really great one. I think this movie has a lot of great moments in it. Honestly,
the jazz scenes, like my dad pointed out, reminds me a lot. Well, reminded him and then me of like La La Land because of Ryan Gosling's character.
I also got La La Land vibes.
Yeah,
I'm not sure it's because we watched La La Land so recently.
It definitely is.
Well, I think
because I also got La La Land vibes.
Yeah.
Ooh, I do want to say something specifically for the jazz scene. The use of lighting in this movie is kind of fucking insane.
Well, the use of lighting in general is ridiculous.
Yeah, like especially like in that scene, like you can literally see the light reflecting off the sweat beads on his head as he's playing the piano. It's like this is a level of like Okay, I'm gonna go. This is gonna tie into actually our next thing we're gonna talk about pretty fairly. So I just want to say, like, if you look at history through Pixar throughout the years, right, and starting with, let's say, their first Pixar short, Andre and the Bee, and it's literally like a Looney Tunes type CGI Pixar short that
Yeah.
is basically a tech demo to show that CGI animation is possible. And it's so basic and so simple, and like you just kind of watch that as it develops over the course of all these movies, and you get to, like, I want to say kind of Toy Story 4, where you start getting close to that, like you're getting to the
Realistic.
photorealistic stuff, like especially the rain scene in Toy Story 4. Everyone talks about that.
Yep.
Scene's gorgeous. Back then, Pixar back in the day couldn't even animate water.
Yeah.
And then you get to this, and this feels like the next evolution of
I mean,
photorealism.
like
I think you can even go
straight
before
up.
that.
You continue with what you're saying, Tyler.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say before the Toy Story 4 scene, even some of the shorts
Yeah,
before
Piper.
that.
Piper's a really big one. That was
Yeah.
very, very close. I still think Soul is like it's something like it's a level all its own in terms of detail. The backgrounds, the setting, like
The
sub-
facial features and the way every character looks different.
it's so insanely detailed to the point that, like, it's one of those, in terms of like animation itself, I think it's one of those movies that is one of the best. It's one of the best animated movies I've ever seen. Not to
I
say
agree.
it's one of my favorite animated movies, but that
It's
is
the best
in terms
looking.
in terms of quality of animation, it seems to be is one of the best.
Yes.
Like, and normally, like, the only movies that I really enjoy, like that I felt were so strongly about in their animation, have been like super stylized, like Spider-Verse,
Yeah.
which might be my favorite animated movie all time. Because it's like super stylized. It takes a lot from comics. It takes a lot from all of these different mediums to make it really unique. Whereas Soul instead just tries to be as real and down to earth as possible and succeeds.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it
also, like,
literally
in
looks
the
like the
afterlife-
street in New York.
Yeah, it literally looks like New York. And even like in the afterlife, it's also super stylized at the same time. There's the scene where Joe's falling down into the before life, the great before, and like he's like be kind of almost like breaking apart, almost like he's like in multiple instances of himself,
Mm.
and is all of like this white on black light, all this colors and explode. It's gorgeous and it's stylized, and this whole movie is visually fantastic.
Yeah.
Any points you guys want to make?
No, I think you about covered everything right there.
Yeah. No, the animation is amazing, and seeing the animation now after watching all of the Pixar shorts, starting from Andre and the Wallaby, like seeing where they started from to now is ridiculous.
Yeah, and I guess Faison, do you have any closing points? Or
No, I think on that note, you could take it away.
on that note, I'll be talking about our second category, which is by far the weirdest category we've done for an episode.
Not even close.
For our second movie, it is every Pixar animated theatrical short.
Sure, it's a weird choice, but we'd had weirder options before.
I think
Have we?
this is the first, the weirdest one that we put in down. We do have an episode planned out that is all scripts that were unused, but I think
I'm just talking about weird, as in like the whole puppet category was just weird. Weird.
Well, no, this is like weird as in different.
Yeah, this is like against the grain of the
Like Puppet was still
fair.
like a
Every episode,
movie or like an episode or whatever.
Our second category is instead every single theatrical animated short. I should say, for disclosure, this does not include anything that wasn't produced by Pixar or anything that's not part of the Spark Shorts program, except for Burrow, because that somehow is both, and I don't really know how that works, so I didn't bother thinking about it. And so we're going to start off with, like I already mentioned, Andre and the Bee, the first ever Pixar theatrical short. It is literally a tech demo, and
Yeah.
it is also literally Looney Tunes.
You can the first like 3 tech demos really.
Yeah. They're tech demos for different things. Like this
Yeah.
one is just like straight up the ability to animate,
Yeah.
and it's kind of funny in how simple it is. Like,
Yep.
the bee
It's
is,
also
like, made
crazy
of
how
4 shapes.
far it's come from that.
I
Yeah.
think that one of my favorite things about watching all these shorts was just watching animation evolve,
Yeah.
starting with this and then going to like the most recent ones. It just feels kind of ridiculous to me, just how different it is.
Yeah. And then after Andre was Luxo.
Jr. Yeah, Luxo Jr., which is the origin story for Pixar's blinking light lamp guy.
The
who
lamp,
kills
yep.
the
Yeah.
eye.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, another tech demo. I think this was like a
But
tech
also
demo
good.
specifically. Also, it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. It also looked, I thought, a lot better than
I
Well,
the first one.
I
Yeah.
think this was a tech demo in terms of lighting, because like they're lamps, so they literally
Yeah.
have lights at their head. So I think this was meant to be a tech demo in terms of like emulating realistic lighting, because every time they move, the light has to obviously move accordingly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that's kind of what they were going for in terms of capabilities. And I think it looks surprisingly good. This one is like, especially out of the older ones, this one's actually aged well.
Yeah, it looks like, obviously it still looks dated, but not as dated as Andre and the Bee.
I also want to say I think it's a really good little bit of like, not necessarily character writing, but the fact that you get the dynamic between like Papa Lamp and Child Lamp immediately.
Yeah,
And you kind of like, as the parent lamp like looks at you and kind of shakes its head, you completely understand like the emotion, I guess, between them.
yeah,
Despite
but,
this
but it's a
being-
lamp. Like
It's a lamp with no emotional features, and this is a 3-minute short, and yet I understand them.
like you understand the disappointment the little lamp feels from popping the ball.
Yeah,
When he just
Like-
trying to flip it over, it's like, no, it's son, it's not how it works.
like I don't know if this is like, I don't think the term for this would be good writing, but it's got really
But,
good
but like,
writing.
and then that pure terror when the beach ball comes rolling
Yeah,
in.
like the shock, like, oh god, like how, I don't know how they did it, but this short,
I don't know, somehow
kind
they
of
put emotion into lamps.
fantastic. Lamps in 3 minutes with no dialogues and no facial features and no like humanized, like no
Yeah,
anatomy.
no
to them
body
whatsoever.
language really. Like
Just like the like 2 joints, the joint at the neck and the joint in like the back. That's all they have, and like the swivel of like the leg piece, and yet it's surprisingly good.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like a favorite of the oldies.
And the next one
Oh god, yeah, Red's Dream.
is a nightmare.
It's a bit of a downer. It's I do want to give it a point. It is oddly moody. Like it has like a bit of like smooth jazz playing. You
I
hear,
like the opening.
raindrops. Yeah,
I like the opening 10
and
seconds.
closing. Yeah. It also
Red's
has
Dream is the unicycle, right?
unicycle. Yeah.
Yep.
It's the
Okay.
sad unicycle who just wants to be bought
With
Yeah.
by a disturbed clown.
by the most fucking terrifying clown I've ever seen. Oh my god, they could not render human faces yet. It would take them a good amount of time before they could render a fucking human, because that clown was disgusting.
It looks like
And-
Mr. Potato Head.
I don't
And
saw
more-
Mr. Potato Head with that face. It's just fucking scary.
You know
No,
what's
I mean like
scarier?
the facial features.
I mean, yeah.
The head's like a diamond, though. I don't even know.
yeah.
what
I mean,
don't
they
even
only
know
had
what's wrong
like
with the head.
4 shapes to work with here.
Do you know what was scarier though?
The baby.
The baby in Tin
Oh,
in
God,
Tin
the
Toy.
Baby and Tin Toy. Let's go to Tin Toy. Tin Toy is literally Toy Story 1.0.
Yep.
And it
Yep.
features a baby that is somehow more scary than the clown. At least the clown had makeup. The
The-
baby is just
The
actually
baby
Godzilla.
simultaneously looked like he was 2 and 80 at the same time.
It's so fucking gross.
I was so sorry for that toy. I'm like, run, bail,
Like, he
whatever you're
looks
doing.
like, he looks like an old man, but is still a baby.
This was a horror short.
This was Sid.
Yeah.
This
That's
is-
why all the
this is-
kids are afraid. That's why all the toys are afraid.
Honestly, that's probably Baby Sid.
This, God, it's
It
kind of
looks like him.
Yeah,
Toy, yeah.
it's kind of funny just how hard it was to animate a person's face.
Yeah, I mean Toy Story 1,
years
like
ago.
they didn't they only use like what's it called?
Andy's
Andy.
face.
Andy's
Yeah.
face? Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
for
they
all the
didn't
kids.
even have the mom show the face.
No, but when you see like when Woody's looking through the keyhole at it's either the end or the beginning, but whenever the kids are like having a party, you see the friends there, and it's just Andy's face.
Yeah.
It's just it's really a testament to how limited they were by their tech at the time, especially when you compare like that Toy Story to Toy Story 4, and you look at just the detail in the human faces. It's kind of crazy how much the technology's really evolved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On that note,
So yeah, we got
we can
two
talk about-
nightmares.
Yeah, we got 2 absolute fucking nightmare fuel, just unready, not rendered, just ugh. And then we got Knick Knack,
Which-
and,
Which
Phase
is
on.
I find
also
Knick Knack fun.
slightly nightmare-y.
Phase
I don't know,
on
man.
is
The
shitless of Knick
snowman,
Knack.
no, the snowman freaks me out a little bit.
I just like how the snowman had an Acme inside his snow globe because he got a bunch of explosives. He got the drill.
I thought the
I-
whole short itself was pretty fun.
I like.
I just
that little
didn't like
song.
the big eye little eye thing he had going on there.
Interesting.
Oh, what? You didn't like the Tom York look?
Nope. Did not like it one bit.
I really like the little jingle they were playing. The whole,
Oh,
the whole
okay,
thing,
yeah,
like the ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Yeah, I like that. It was fun. And Snowman just wanted to get some. That's all he was trying to do. Simple
Yeah,
man.
he's-
He was so
Just-
horny.
He was
You know what
just so
sucks though,
horny.
man? I don't think he ever realized he was gonna melt out there.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he's made of plastic.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
He
Uh,
didn't. If he didn't blow up with dynamite, I think he's fine.
He's probably gonna live. Yeah. Worst comes to worst. On that note, I think we get to actually talk about the first like great one in me and Tyler's opinion.
Yeah.
Jerry's Game.
Yeah. Oh, before you get to that, I just want to say Tin Toy was Pixar's first Oscar win because they Yeah, was the first cut? Yeah, because they didn't have animated Oscar yet.
So like it won for what, short film?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Tintoy did.
Okay, it's really interesting. Yeah, Jerry's game is really good.
Yeah, played before Bugs Life.
Play Before Bugs Life. Another one where you get a lot of character despite no dialogue. I mean, here it's a person, so you get like facial expressions
And laughter.
and laughter
And gasping.
and and faking your own death.
Yeah, faking a heart attack like it was
Yeah.
nothing.
Even though he's playing himself.
Yeah, this one
Yeah.
is literally just a man playing chess with himself. And it's so good because you really kind of lose yourself in that illusion of like it's not just this guy playing chess with
Yeah,
himself.
they do a good job of making it seem like it's two people.
I love it because like the way they did it was like the first time you see him properly go across the side, like he walks and plays the other player, and then he does it again, but then they make a little cut, and then the cut like gets closer and closer to like basically just being when he's sitting down, to the point that now it's just showing like each person on their own. It's not showing him get up from the chair,
Yeah.
or it's not showing him sit down or move. It's only showing the players, so it really starts to feel like it's just these two old dudes playing at the park.
And he's really enjoying his time.
He's really enjoying his time. He's you know, evil Jerry is just absolutely whooping his ass
Yep.
until good Jerry fakes his own death in order to turn the tides of battle and get the win and earn his dentures back from himself.
I like how the evil Jerry doesn't even realize that he has a completely different board, completely different pieces.
There is a mental institution a couple blocks away from this park that is desperately looking for its patient that has run away.
And it's also close enough so he can clean Woody in Toy Story 2.
He can, yeah. I mean, like they almost certainly use the same model and just like texture
it is
up
Jerry.
a little bit. It is the same model. Okay,
I'm pretty sure it's like Pixar confirmed that yes, that is Jerry.
that's fun. That's fun. You know, when he's not fixing toys, he just likes to play chess with himself. Who doesn't like? I'm not gonna make that joke.
Yeah, don't. Moving on.
For the birds.
I did not like For the Birds.
That's okay.
I thought it was just a little meh.
Another
Like, I get the point, but yeah.
Oscar winner along with Jerry's game.
I'm like in between. You know, I'm not like right with Faison. Like I don't hate it or anything. I don't not like it. The birds are little evil bastards, so
Yep.
it's just kind of cathartic to see them get their shit kicked in.
Yeah.
The big bird is basically the bird from Up, but
Yeah,
you know,
basically.
it's prototype Big Bird from Up.
Yeah, I like it. It's
he's
fun.
It's fun. It's fun.
It's funny when the smaller birds realize they're screwed.
It's fun, but I think like especially after Jerry's game, which is both fun and clever, you kind of start to realize that they can do a lot more with the shorts.
It's really simple.
Yeah, it's really simple. They don't do.
Yeah, I think that's why I
a lot
didn't
more
like
with
it.
The next one though.
It also didn't help that I watched this one like towards the end.
Oh, you didn't watch them in order?
No, I mean I watched them in whatever order Disney Plus had them in.
Oh, that's fucking weird.
Disney Plus
Yeah.
has some terrible features that could be easily fixed.
That's
Yeah.
That's got to be a very.
This is why I was ranting about the shorts before. This
makes
is why I
more
was
sense
ranting
now.
about Disney Plus's layout before we got in here.
Hmm.
Because you can't like if you go to Disney Plus, right? It'll just like show you the Pixar shorts, but it won't show them in any order. And you have to like just scroll, like not scroll, but keep hitting on the right, like to go a couple down instead of seeing all of them on one page.
That's definitely suboptimal, and it's kind of unfortunate you watched this way. I feel like they're best watched, oldest
Yeah.
and newest.
Yeah,
Like the first one I watched was Burrow.
Oh well, I mean, I think I start with your expectations low. Speaking of Burrow.
Well, we're not on Burrow, are we? We're on Bounding.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I
Burrow was
Burrow's
Burrow's at the end. That's
I'm
a good
sorry.
jumped
one.
so many.
I heard like the B sound, and my brain immediately filled in Bounding. Burrow's actually really good. Bounding is not.
I don't even remember what Bounding was about.
The sheep.
Jackalope.
Oh, the
Or
sheep.
whatever
Oh,
it is.
God.
I don't know what it is.
Dude, the naked sheep was disgusting.
It's
they're still taking their time getting fixing.
it's the
this shit up.
first Pixar one with dialogue, and it's not good.
Yeah,
Not at all.
It's my least favorite of the shorts.
Yeah,
By a
no,
pretty large margin. I don't think there's anything worth saying about this one, honestly.
no.
No, there isn't. We can move on.
One man band, top 10 anime battles of all time.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
This is fun. This is a fun one.
It's a
It's-
fun one. I
Yeah.
didn't love it. It's fun.
It's just fun. I think this one's a bit more fun than For the Birds. Just because
Yeah.
it starts to get really wacky and zany, and it's like fuck it. If you're animated, just go all the way with it.
Although, did anyone else get a Shrek vibe from it?
You know what? I suddenly need to check something.
Kind
Was
of.
John
Yeah.
Lasseter involved in this at all? because John Lasseter was a member who was part of Disney, and eventually he would be kicked off, and he would create DreamWorks Animation, yeah, and he would basically spend the rest of his life fucking with Disney by taking their properties and making movies before they could. So I kind of wonder if he was involved in this at all, because you know what, Tyler? This is 2005. So when was?
Because I mean, like the,
founded?
I mean, like the
1986. So no, I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
not
sorry.
even close.
No, hold on. I'm doing it wrong.
I don't know, just the whole like
1994.
the way,
Still not even close.
the
Yeah,
way they
not even
looked,
close.
the way they moved, and just the whole back and forth between them seemed very Shrek-like.
You know
Yeah,
what?
DreamWorks
I
like?
can see it. I didn't think about it before, but I do believe you are right. The next one is Lifted, which involves attempted alien abduction.
Yeah,
That was
this was
good.
played. Wait, is the guy who's abducting the guy from Ratatouille? Because this played before Ratatouille.
It
Yeah.
looks like fucking Remy.
I think
It's
so.
Remy's
Louis,
half brother.
No, not the rat. The
I'm sorry. Yeah, Linguini.
Yeah.
You're both wrong.
Yeah,
it's
I think
Linguini's-
because this was played before Ratatouille.
Yeah, I
Linguini's
think it
half-brother
was.
Spaghetti.
he just ended up in the middle of an open field.
That was an underrated
I like this one a lot because it felt like it actually had substance.
It's
Yeah.
fun. I think it's like there was a sudden jump in quality between
Yeah.
One Man Band and this one, like animation wise. If this one
Yep.
felt like much larger. I do want to say the
This-
only thing I
this-
can think about. No, Faison, you first.
Okay, this really felt like a, when you're in class, yeah, you have this like end of the year group project, and you haven't really been doing much,
Yeah.
and you're up there presenting, and the teachers are just looking over your shoulder, and you're just fucking up everything.
You know, that's fair. That's a good summary of this experience.
That's what it felt like.
It's funny. For me, when watching this, all I could think about, and I made sure not to text Tyler this. He's looking at me because he knows what I'm going to say. I made sure not to text you this because all I could think about was you taking your driving exam, Tyler. Was you trying over
Hey,
and
which
over
time?
again. That's all I could think about. And I'm watching this and I'm like, I had it open. I had you open. I was going to message you and I'm like, no, this waits. This waits.
Do you mean like
the moment
the
you
first
said-
time you took it or the second time?
How
the
many
moment
times
you
were it?
said-
Is it 4? 5.
Went
Okay,
to the
gotta give me
DMV
warm or
5
cold.
times.
Five,
Then
it's
went-
fine,
No,
it's fine.
wait. Took it 4. Went there 5 times. They didn't let me take it one time. So
Like twice in the same week. We can't do that. I'm sorry.
yeah, the moment you said it reminded me of. I'm like, oh, I'm waiting for it.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for it.
That's
Sorry,
all I
Tyler.
could think about.
It also got surprisingly wholesome at the end, though.
You know what? It was sweet until they,
Though I'm pretty
they-
sure he crashed after that.
and
Yeah.
also Spaghetti did die. I'm
Yeah.
calling Spaghetti because he's a half brother McQueen. Because you at the end you actually hear him fall,
And
Yeah.
yell, yeah.
so he definitely is dead.
Yeah, but it did get a little wholesome, and then he fucked
yeah,
it up
before
again.
the murder. Presto.
It's fun.
It's fun.
It's fun.
It's a super psychotic cat.
Rabbit.
Rabbit.
It's Looney Tunes.
It's Looney Tunes with an evil rabbit. But it's really
so
fun.
bugs.
It's Looney Tunes, and
Yeah.
I think it's another fun one. I don't think it's like crazy good, but I really like the animation and the energy to it. It's just a good time. It's a good 3
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah. Partly cloudy.
This is just like
Abuse?
Stockholm syndrome in a nutshell.
Straight up abuse, Stockholm syndrome.
I think it's kind of cute and wholesome. What's
What's
It's
the
kind-
message here?
The message is, you know
Stay
what?
with your abuser.
Look, I don't think the Thundercloud can help it. I
Granted, the
think he's got-
Thundercloud is trying to be nice, but what he thinks is nice isn't actually nice.
But I get that he's making like shit that should be in the world
I think
anyway.
He has to. I really
Yeah.
think he has no choice. You know,
He just got stuck with all the terrible
Like-
things.
like
And I
Thunder
think the
Guy
bird
is a nice
understands
guy.
it.
Yeah, Thundercloud guy seems to be a nice guy. You know, he like every time he sees Bird in pain, he's not happy about it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, hey, my job is to make little baby alligators and porcupines and giant sharks, and they're gonna fuck with you, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, they both just got really bad luck with what they were doing.
Oh, that poor bird. He looks so tired. He just
But he didn't
needs a
seem to
long
mind
nap.
really.
Well, even when he got the
He
helmet,
got scared.
even when he got the football equipment, then the cloud gives him an electric eel, so the equipment does
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
Better than the great white shark he was gonna throw at him.
Yeah, that thing he pulled that out. He's like, no, hell no,
He
no.
whipped
Give me a
that out and
minute.
it
Give me a
was,
minute. I'm not ready.
God, phrasing Tyler.
For both of you, you said whip it out too. Both of us.
Anyways, our next one is Day and Night.
one of my favorites.
I agree.
I think it's just super unique. It's truly the most like it's just such a unique
Concept.
yeah, like using like the like there is it's all CGI, but a lot of it is kind of like 2D animated in terms of like the models of day and night.
Yeah.
It's like it's traditional, but then everything inside them is the CGI, like
Like,
you know, traditional
yeah.
Pixar, where it's and it's like I love it. I absolutely love this one. I think
It's really,
super
really
unique.
well done.
Yeah, super unique concept, super well done. A wholesome message, you know, when they're listening to the radio tower.
Yeah.
You know, a wholesome message at the end. They hug. It becomes sunset. They switch. Night gets to gawk at women, and day gets to go to the casino.
Yeah.
know?
Well, I mean,
it was just really
he doesn't,
cool.
he doesn't
Wholesome.
go to. He just dances with the music and the sound of money hitting each other.
Yeah, but
It's a
it
good
was
time
it was
for
really
all.
cool.
I really like this one. This is a personal favorite for me. Not
Yeah.
my favorite, but a personal favorite.
Mm-hmm.
La Lune.
So if it's a personal favorite, how's it not your favorite? What?
A personal favorite just means it's one of my favorites.
Okay.
That's how I use it.
You just worded that weird. You're like, it's a personal favorite, but not my
But not
favorite.
my favorite.
Okay, I should clarify.
Yeah.
When I say listen for future reference, this is the only time I'm ever going to clarify this for anyone. So if you skip this episode, that's your own fault. When I say personal favorite, I just mean one of my favorites.
Yeah, but why don't you just say it's one of my favorites?
Because I like the word personal favorite, Faison. You know, I like it.
All
It
right.
rolls off the tongue
Look at
real
you
nice.
using big words. What do you think? You're cool,
It
nerd.
tricks people into thinking I'm educated.
True.
La Luna. Italian grunting
Yeah.
and
It's-
3 generations of moon cleaners.
And Super Mario Galaxy.
And Super Mario Galaxy. It's wholesome and it's cute.
Yeah. I thought it was really funny when he's holding up like the broom against his dad's mustache, and then
The mop.
The mop.
brush, and then the
Yeah.
mop or broom or whatever it is against the granddad's beard.
Yeah,
That
Yeah,
was just a
it's-
real little like funny, cute scene.
it's a nice one.
It's nice. It's nice. Blue Umbrella.
It's
Good,
one of the
really
best
good.
ones.
This might, yeah, this is my favorite. I think this is my favorite. I really like Blue Umbrella. Like, there's some
I'm-
really good ones still coming up.
Yeah.
Blue Umbrella is an absolute gem.
I might agree with you. I'm still trying. No, it's my favorite.
Yeah, it's crazy how it hits like that photorealism so early on.
Mm.
Like it's like this, everything looks really fucking good for this short. Like everything looks like almost soul levels of good.
Yep.
And it's kind of
Yep.
crazy that this came out so many years earlier. So like they've kind of been workshopping this tech for a bit. They also managed to give a lot of kind of human properties and emotions to all of these things that don't have it, like mailboxes and sewer gutters and air, like manholes and all this
Manholes, yeah.
stuff. It's just really unique. It's actually a kind of charming love story as well. Really cute music. This
Yeah.
one's the whole package. This is one of
Yeah,
this is my
it's got
favorite.
about everything in there.
It's got
Yeah.
everything and it does everything really, really, really well.
Even
I
the
really like this one.
even this one has music in it, and it's just that one simple. It's not a tone. It's someone singing, but it's not like any
Yeah.
words.
Yeah, it's there's a word for that I don't know, but it has that and it's really good.
Yeah.
Blue Umbrella, really good one.
Yeah.
Lava though,
It
People
looked
don't like
nice.
this one. People don't like this one.
I think it's okay. I mean
I
that's pretty
didn't
much all my
really
thoughts
like
for
it.
it.
Like,
I think the only real thing I have to say is that the design of the main volcano is based off of oh god, you know what? Here, we're gonna try this.
I'm
gonna-
worried.
It seems to me to be based off of a real life singer named his first name is Israel, and his last name is a traditional Hawaiian last name, which I don't honestly think I can
attempt to pronounce
correctly.
it.
I do you want is that a challenge?
Chris's
Yes.
eyes widened, and
Oh,
he knew
God.
he was in trouble.
Kamakawiyowiole.
Close enough.
I can't even know. I'm not looking it
I
up.
think that was actually rather close. He's a famous.
Oh no,
Hawaiian.
there's a Vivo in there somewhere.
I don't see any V's.
I'm looking at the Wikipedia pronunciation.
Really? Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just trying off of. I've never actually heard his name said. I've only heard some of his music. His cover of Over the Rainbow is the best version of Over the Rainbow, and that's a fact. And if you kind of look at him, he definitely like we said this before for the modern Disney episode, that he was kind of a design inspiration for Maui in Moana,
hmm
and he also seems to be a design inspiration for the volcano in lava. He sadly passed away some time ago. He was a great singer. His music's really good, and that's just something I think is kind of worth noting here.
Yep.
As a little interesting, potentially true tidbit. I have no evidence for this. This is just what I think.
Yeah.
Pretty much all what this podcast is.
The actual short itself, I don't know. I didn't think it was that interesting.
I think it's just okay.
I remember
Yeah.
watching it in theaters and liking it more then, probably because I was younger. And then I
Yeah.
watch it now, and it's okay.
Pretty much my same thoughts. What's after that actually? Oh, Sanjay's Super Team.
I kind of liked it, actually, to be honest.
It's
I think it's like a deeply personal story.
Yeah,
It is.
It is, and I think that shows. And it's actually because I had no expectations going into this. The poster does not look very good.
No, it doesn't.
On the Pixar website. So the poster looks not very good at all. So I did not think it was going to be very good.
I thought it was just some like tech shit for an Indian
Yeah.
person.
But actually, it actually is quite wholesome, quite heartfelt, quite cute, and has some pretty fun action animation. Not
Yeah.
the best action animation, but pretty fun action animation.
yeah.
I
It's
think they could have honestly done a bit more with it in that, but I really like the color use, like all the neon. I like the kind of like the what's the word for like not a parallel. What's the opposite of a parallel?
perpendicular.
No, not mathematically, Tyler. Thematically, like it's not
Convergence.
that they. No, not that they parallel one another as much as they oppose one another.
Yeah.
Sure.
Juxtaposition.
Oppose- Yeah,
I like the
yeah.
juxtaposition between the imagination of the kid and him just with his dad.
Yeah.
Like something super bright, super colorful, super energetic, and something so much more still and simple. I enjoy
Yeah.
it. I think it's
It's-
I enjoyed it. It was fun.
It's fun. It's funny that they paired this with Good Dinosaur, and nobody saw Good Dinosaur.
so Dinosaur isn't very good.
That too. I
It's
still
very
haven't seen it.
mediocre.
Yeah.
I've seen it once or twice. I actually don't remember, but it wasn't a great experience either way.
I know people compared it to a tech demo.
Sanji's?
No, good.
Oh, Good
no,
Dinosaur. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's definitely more fair. I guess that's kind of where you start seeing that photorealism come in a lot more.
Mm.
Or,
They
like, the
just didn't.
backgrounds.
I guess they just didn't have a plot for it, but they made the movie.
Yeah, I mean it's just okay. Next we have Piper, which is truly a
Beautiful.
tech demo of if ever there could be one. It's crazy gorgeous.
I thought it was like the beginning was literally
A
just like
puffin.
actual photo, like film, like
It-
in the wild.
It's honestly, yeah, a little, almost like it could trick you.
Like not the whole beginning, like the first like 2-3
Yeah,
seconds.
No, I get what you mean. Like at a glance, you might just think this is a bird.
Yeah.
Again, it's kind of crazy just how good CGI gets in,
Yep.
in terms of like fully animated films. I mean, like if you want to be technical, like fully animated films, you could also count the Lion King remake. In which case, we can in fact, yes, go.
Can we though?
I mean, it's not a good movie.
Can we just not count it?
But the tech in that is.
Although
that-
you know, I'm gonna say people were like we're talking about the tech in Lion King, right? Jungle Book came out earlier and is really good.
Yeah.
It's the best
Yep.
Disney live action remake, and it has almost exactly the same tech. Go watch Jungle Book instead.
Yeah.
It's good. That was
Jungle Book is a lot better
irrelevant to
actually.
this discussion, but I mean, I'm sorry, but listen, how many chances can you get Christopher Walken to sing "I Want to Be Like You" as a giant
Only
orange?
one.
Only one, damn it! But you can have it forever with Disney Plus. Only $9.99 a month if you subscribe using our link below.
Which we
a
don't
link
have.
below. That would be
what
pretty
link
great, but-
below? We're not on anything.
That's a good point. So Lou's
Well, I
another-
do want to touch on
Oh yeah, sorry.
like
Piper.
Piper a little more, I guess. I like the overall just like story in it too. I thought it was pretty cool.
Cute little story about a bird.
It was a little
Yeah.
heart wrenching. Poor bird had PTSD from water.
Yeah.
I love the cutaway. I love the hard cutaway, like when he gets splashed in the water to him shaking.
shaking.
I remember
Yeah.
seeing this one in theaters, and I remember everyone getting a good laugh at that cutaway,
Mm.
which I don't think there's really been any of these shorts where people truly would laugh from. Like Presto
Day
has
Night.
funny bits.
Day and Night had
Night?
some. Day and Night had the funny one because he's just when he sees the girl in the bikini. So it was not like a big laugh, but you
Yeah.
get some chuckles.
Yeah.
That's fair. I do think this has the largest.
Yeah.
All right, we can move on now.
Lou, a real sleeper hit for me. I knew nothing about this one.
Yeah, I agree.
It was paired with Cars 3, which is why nobody saw it.
Why nobody saw it? That explains so much. Cars 3
Yeah.
also not very good. I don't like Cars 3 at all.
You like any of the cars?
I like the first Cars well enough. That might
And
be
that's it.
nostalgia talking. But the
I
first
mean,
Cars is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is actually better than Cars 3. It's about a sentient lost and found box that
Yep.
finds a bully and kind of says, I have your favorite toy you lost years ago, and if you don't give back all these toys to these kids, I ain't gonna give it to you. And the bully, he gives back all these toys, and at the end, he basically there's no longer anything in the lost and found,
Yeah.
so there is no Lou, anymore.
Yep.
And that was an oddly sad, melancholic moment. Like,
I mean, he does
really
see also his dog just left in the box.
yeah, his teddy bear.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like at the same time, it's just such a melancholic moment where like he kind of grew to really enjoy giving this stuff away to the kids and being friends with Lou. And then Lou's gone, but then also at the same time, Lou is everywhere because
But that's
Lou
how he
is with all
becomes.
these kids.
He just ends up becoming a bully again to bring Lou back. That's what's gonna happen.
At the
Why
same
are
time,
you so cruel, Faison? You want to kill Joe? You want this guy to become a bully again? What is wrong with you today?
But how funny would that be?
Why are you mean?
Somebody's got to be mean in this episode. I think
Oh God, yeah.
we
I
can't be
guess
all up.
we can't all be good people today. So Bao.
that was a
Really,
That was a
good.
really good one. It was awarded for something, right?
But it won. Yeah, it won the Oscar. And which other one won the Oscar? There was one before that. Oh, Piper.
Piper won the Oscar as well.
But yeah, no, Bao. Everyone knows.
Yeah, that was like
As-
the most famous one at this point.
Yeah, I feel like Bao. I've seen Bao before.
I hadn't seen
Yeah.
it, but I've seen the discussion about it.
Yeah, because I mean, like, it takes a hard. First of all, it's weird. The whole
Yeah.
premise is that this mom is cooking dumplings and one becomes alive.
Yep.
Right, the dumpling.
yeah.
Yes, one becomes
a dumpling.
alive, and then she's basically treating it as her child. And as time goes on, the dumpling obviously grows up. So you see him have like a mustache or like a goatee or something. And he gets a girlfriend, and then he wants to leave the house. The mom's not wanting that because she's still attached and everything.
Yep.
And then she eats him.
Yeah, it was.
That's why everyone talks about it, because it's a hard left turn.
It's a hard fucking left turn. I kind
I
of
remember
like suddenly
gasped.
shot up. I shot up.
I remember
Yeah.
gasped in the theater.
Jesus, no, it caught me completely fucking off guard.
Incredible. Yeah, it was Incredibles too.
Oh,
Yeah, gasped in the
what-
theaters.
Then I'm surprised people actually saw that one because Incredibles 2 also a bad movie.
Well,
It's a bad movie.
No. I'm saying like people would see it because it's a sequel. At that point, they're gonna see it. They're not gonna hear that it's bad.
I guess that's fair. Incredibles
Yeah.
2 is a really bad movie though. I just want that to be known, and I'll die on that hill.
You mentioned it before.
What's it called? One thing I really liked about this one was it felt very, very realistic.
Oh, we should say after she eats him, she's laying in her bed crying, and her son, her
Her
real
real
son,
son.
who looks exactly like the dumpling, comes in and attempts to reconcile with her.
Yeah.
So it's all an allegory. Is that the way
Yes.
for this?
Yes.
Yeah, it's all an allegory. It's really, really sad.
But like how terrified she was when she found out her son was dating a white girl. It's a real thing, dude. Trust me. I know.
There's a story to unpack in that one. There's a
Not for
there's
this episode.
not for this
Yeah.
episode. We'll we're gonna make a
We'll make the multicultural one day.
we'll make a multicultural episode and we'll get Faze on to talk about this. 'Cause
But
now
like
there's
the
something to
fear,
unpack here.
like the horror she had is like very, very common in a lot of Asian and Indian families.
Interesting. Okay. I mean,
When
yeah,
you end
that's-
up
yeah.
dating somebody outside of your culture.
Yeah, I mean, I think just even like the idea of like if you were like try and break this down to like its most barest sense, or like reconciling with a family member after leaving in any way,
Yeah.
or even like a mother kind of like becoming so attached to her child that she can't let her child move on. I think that's just something that might be really emotional for a lot of people. And I think it's also just a really great short. It's really stylistic visually. It looks like nothing else that Pixar's really done in terms of character design. Everyone looks kind of cubic and almost like a caricature, like the type of thing you get like at the beach or like Central Park or something, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can see that.
I'm not sure if I'm crazy or not for feeling that way, but yeah, I feel like it's really interesting and unique. I really like it. I
I liked
also
it. Yeah.
but about another personal favorite, as I like to say.
Yeah, it is great. I don't love it as much as most people. It is still great, obviously, but I have other favorites.
That's fair. I really enjoy this one. And our final one is the theatrical short that did not show theatrically in theaters because of the ongoing global pandemic. Burrow. But before we get to Burrow, I want to say one thing. Burrow is also part of the Spark Shorts initiative, which was like an animation initiative by Pixar to create a whole bunch of short films. And like I said earlier, I wasn't sure even if it would count here, but it is listed on the Pixar website as one of their theatrical shorts, so I counted it. But we're not talking about any of the other Spark Shorts at all today. I do kind of want to throw them in another time, but
yeah, it's
really
paired
good.
with this. It's very good.
Burrow is 2D animation, which was I think the most shocking thing to me. It was not the traditional 3D animated methods used by Pixar. It's purely 2D, and it's fucking adorable.
It is.
It is
So fucking cute. It's so goddamn cute. I love it.
It's really, really good.
I absolutely I love the art style of this so much. It's like a children's book.
I mean, it feels like there's so much world building and like character, like characterization in literally just 5 minutes.
I love this one. This one's so wholesome and sweet and adorable.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me of Fantastic Mr. Fox, and I love that movie. So
you know what? It does actually, now that I think about it, remind me of Fantastic Mr. Fox. It's Fantastic Mr. Fox with a child, like a children's book art style animated. And I could genuinely watch a series of shorts of this world, of like just animals in this community doing shit.
Yep.
I could totally I would happily watch a series of shorts of this that released like on Disney Plus every so often. Like, please, I would love this. I genuinely
I really like this short.
Yeah, this is a fun one for me.
Yeah. So if you guys had to pick one,
I was gonna say we could do our 3-2-1 binge of just the shorts.
We could.
So what's your 3? What would you say is your third favorite of these shorts?
Hold on, give me a minute.
Yeah, scroll through. I'm dropping you on this with no time to think because I'm a chaotic human being for some reason.
I think Piper.
My third might be Lou. Might be. I think I'm going with Lou.
I think I'm going with Bao. Oh god,
okay.
It's actually hard. No, I'm not. I'm going with Jerry's Game. Jerry's Game is my number.
Jerry's Game. Okay.
Yep. Number 2.
Bao.
Tyler?
Did I fuck this up already? I might have fucked this up already. You know what? It's not Lou for third. Jerry's Game third.
Okay.
Then Day and Night.
Okay. Oh, Day and Night. Fuck, I forgot about Day and Night.
See, right? You
okay,
looked at it.
Day and Night 3, and then Burrow 2. What's your guys' number 1 now that we revamped our list again?
Burrow.
Okay.
Umbrella.
Umbrella for me as well.
Oh, I didn't put Umbrella in there.
This is what happens when we come in with even less prep than usual.
Oh no! Why'd you put us on the spot like this?
See, that's why I switched mine.
I'm just a bad person.
But it's tough because I really liked Piper, and it feels weird not to put a top 3.
It is weird. Like, it's surprising how good some of these shorts are. Like, some of them are like either okay, some of them are even kind of like below average.
But Boundin is bad.
Bounding is bad. Surprisingly, so many of these, I think Lava is just above bad and below medium.
It's bad.
But a lot of these are actually really good.
Yeah.
That is actually kind of hard to pick a top 3. But that's the list. Thank you guys for watching.
No, wait.
That's right.
Tyler, if
you
will,
want to intro us into the final one?
Take it away.
Yes. We have 2009's Up, which features the saddest opening 10 minutes in movie history. Before we get to that,
actually, I feel like it's a little more than 10.
You can extend it to even 15 to 20 minutes too. But before we get to that, the overall point of the movie is that this old man, Carl Fredrickson, all he wants to do is live his life, the remainder of his life, in Paradise Falls, which is where his now past wife always imagined of traveling to one day.
Yep. It's been their dream since they were kids.
Yeah,
since they literally met.
Yeah, but things got in the way every time they tried to raise money to go on this trip. A tree crashed into the house, the car broke down, something more or less happened, and they never got to.
Yeah, and then she...
and then we talk about the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, first 10 minutes, I'm gonna drop some really hot takes on this one.
The first...
Okay.
Well,
first 10 minutes have never made me cry.
I was fucking bawling my eyes
First 10
out,
minutes
bro.
get me... Like, I got my eyes a little watery this time. But I remember watching it in theaters. I did not cry at all. Every time I've watched it since, I've not cried. And this time I also did not cry. I've never cried during this.
See, this was my first time watching it.
That's fair. My
So,
first time
like-
watching it didn't hit me that hard.
Well,
But when,
okay,
when,
yeah.
when was the first time you watched it?
I was a
in
kid.
2009.
Yeah,
Yeah,
see?
probably. I watched it in theaters. I was
Yeah.
This is 12-ish, 13-ish. I don't know. I was a
Yeah.
kid.
See, when I was a kid, I didn't even realize that she had a miscarriage. So
I don't know how people could miss that one. There's a
as a
baby
kid,
in the
as a
background.
kid,
I
as a
don't
kid.
know how children can miss that one. We're children. We're not that stupid.
I
don't know.
I don't
I-
think.
I mean, 12-year-old you, Chris.
I don't
Come
think
on.
Yes, 12-year-old me caught the miscarriage.
Okay.
you stood up in the theater.
I was
"That's a
talking about the not
miscarriage."
that stupid thing, but that's okay.
Oh no, 12-year-old me was a fucking idiot, but he caught the miscarriage.
I don't know. For kids, you could probably jump over that. It's still sad.
Yeah.
Like it's still deeply sad just to see the whole life of Ellie from kids and then their marriage, getting the house, being together, and how she just ties his tie every day, and then after she's gone, he just wears a bow tie because he can't tie it.
I mean, yeah.
The thing is,
It's
I
a
also
life
feel
in 10
like
minutes.
for me, like sad stories that are animated hit a lot harder.
Oh yeah.
I can agree with that.
So this was also again my first time watching this movie,
You
And
bald?
it
And I
killed
was-
you.
genuinely crying,
Wow. Really killed you.
and I haven't cried in a long time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was a part like throughout the whole movie. There's multiple parts where the first time to 20 minutes are the saddest. There's still sad scenes throughout. There's another scene later when he's looking through his scrapbook that Ellie made with him.
Ooh, that was
And
sad.
Yeah, I remember like that one was like I was tearing up, and my dad walked in to ask me something. I'm like, "Oh wait, give me a minute."
See, I'm a heartless bastard. I didn't tear up for that scene. Like I was like sad for that scene, but I don't think I really teared up.
I don't know. I was because I think I saw it. It's the first time Carl like tears up in the movie, and you actually see him begin to lose it.
It's funny. I think the scene that I actually teared up a little bit more, like not properly cried or anything, but got eyes watery for was the Ellie badge scene at the end. When
Ooh, yeah,
Carl
that got me too.
gives the purple soda cap to
To Russell.
Kevin. Not Kevin. That's the bird.
Russell.
Russell. Had to check my notes and I got it wrong. He gives it to Russell. I think that scene got me a little bit more. I have weird feelings with Up. I don't like it as much as many other people like it. I like it. I like this movie. I like it a lot. I don't think I love this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this is a movie that, as I keep coming back to it and as I get older, I think I will end up liking more. Because I remember the first time I watched it in the first time I watched it in theaters as a kid, I did not care for it very much. And then I began watching it more and more, and even now watching it again after a couple of years, I did enjoy it more than I have in the past. I still did not necessarily love this movie. I think that again, as I continue,
Is it
to get
because you
older-
don't have like a legitimate connection to it? Is that
I don't know.
what you
I don't really
think?
know what it is. I think that this movie, like, I hear this movie, like, it breaks people's hearts, and it's like I've never cried during that opening scene. Something about it has not yet hit me in the way it's hitting other people. I don't know quite why, but there's something about it that's not hitting me in the same way that hits other people. Whereas if I were to talk about Soul, because I told you, I guess I wanted to make a couple comparisons. I kind of can't remember what my initial point was there, but I should have wrote that down. If any of you guys can remember, let me know. But
No, you didn't mention anything.
You didn't mention
All
it.
you
You
went
just
was,
said it.
"This is something I want to bring up."
You know what I said about
I
that?
have some. No, you were like, "I have something I want to bring up when we get there."
Okay, let's pretend it's this maybe this is it for all I know. There were scenes like the scene with Joe and his mother, and that is a scene that actually got me to tear up proper. And the scene with 22 in the Lost Souls area, right?
Yeah.
When they bring her back, that's another scene that actually got me actually watered up a little, like actually properly to cry a bit. And it's so weird when I watched Up like the next day, and I had nowhere near as intense an emotional reaction to this movie.
It's weird though because I'm the opposite.
Mhm. Yeah.
I didn't really like tear up at all watching Soul, like at any scene.
Some parts made me choke up, I guess, but it wasn't as bad as anything in Up.
See,
Yeah.
I just find that super interesting.
It is.
I
I
don't
know the reason why.
I don't know the reason why. I cannot say why Up does not seem to connect with me on the same level that Soul does. Like, I think maybe, I guess Soul's message is something that I find a bit more important. Like for Up is
Yeah.
all about being able to let go of someone like that, right? Like in the end,
Yeah,
Keep
being able to
going.
He
let
has to
go of
let-
the past.
he has to
And
let
keep
go of the
going.
house in order to save Russell.
Well, his possessions. He keeps
His possessions. Well, he loses the house too.
Well, he loses the house because he.
It
okay,
stays
yeah,
on
no,
Paradise Falls, but he
he literally let go.
sacrifices it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
literally
he
let
doesn't
go.
know that his house landed
Yeah.
in the exact location
He had to
needed
let go of it. You know,
Yeah.
like that's the whole premise of that movie. Whereas Soul is more about like you don't need to necessarily be in like an ultra extraordinary person to be worth living and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Or you don't need to have a passion or direction because life is just worth living to live it. And I think maybe that's just something that connects with me a lot more than letting go with people, which is not something that I necessarily, I guess, struggle to comprehend. Whereas
Understandable.
Soul's message is a bit more, I guess, personally complex and difficult
Mhm.
to get our head around. So I find it more compelling.
Yeah.
Then again, I also I tend to really like Pixar's movies about death. Coco is my personal favorite Pixar movie.
Agreed.
And you can make an argument about
Wait, it's yours too?
Toy Story, huh?
Faison?
Yeah, I love Coco.
Coco is fucking gold. Is gold.
Coco's probably my favorite Pixar movie.
Yeah, it's one of my
Hmm.
favorite animated films. Period. Yeah. So like, I don't know. It's just I just find it so weird that people can have such like different emotional reactions to different movies in different ways. It's just
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like art's subjective. How everyone is gonna attach to something is different. I think I find it especially interesting in your case, Faison, because this is the first time you ever watched it.
Yeah.
And I definitely didn't know that. So this is actually really interesting to like kind of get like a completely fresh perspective on it.
Did you know about the opening or no?
I knew that the first 20 minutes were sad, but like I didn't know really anything about
You
the
didn't-
movie.
But you didn't know it was gonna punch you until your heart was dying.
Yeah. This was like me watching Manchester by the Sea on the plane.
Chris, you still need to see that.
I still need to see that, but I do. I know. I can't
Like Chris,
defend
if you're ever in the need for it, like I think Manchester by the Sea will make you cry.
that. Okay, if I'm ever holding in my emotions for too long,
Yeah.
this is a great relief. I'll mark it down.
I mean, I'll put it up on the list.
Put it on the list somewhere. God, I really
No,
hope
it
that's
is.
what
It's
I-
in there.
Oh, it is. Oh, it is.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's in
that's good.
yeah, it's in there.
I really hope that was the thing I wanted to bring up because now I think it was, but I'm just not too sure.
Hopefully it was.
We're gonna pretend it is for now, unless something hits me.
Sure.
But yeah, like I still like Up, even though I
Yeah.
don't have such a strong emotional reaction to it as Soul.
Yeah. Okay.
I like the villain a lot too.
the villain is
fun. He's
the
fucking
villain's
crazy.
interesting because
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Does any other Pixar movie have a gun?
We could argue that Zurg's blaster.
No,
counts as a
like
gun.
like a straight up
Like a gun.
shotgun. Yeah, or a
Um,
rifle, whatever it was.
I think we see a gun in Coco.
You see the scar
I
that
think we see a gun in the background in one of the movies that Ernesto de la Cruz plays in.
Yeah. I think
I
so.
don't. Okay. But I'm talking like where the main villain uses a gun on the heroes, I guess.
Is there a gun in Ratatouille? Oh, there's guns in Cars too.
Well, that's a spy movie.
They're fucking cars, bro.
Yeah, that's not.
It is a gun. I have filled the requirements.
Yeah, but like, yeah, I don't think we've seen a Pixar movie where the main villain actively tries to murder somebody.
Oh, okay, hold on.
Yeah,
Bugs Life. Bugs Life. You know, what I'm
Yeah,
saying
it is
Bugs
Bugs
Life
Life,
is a
yeah.
movie about
does?
the working class attacking the bourgeoisie,
Yep.
and the cricket actually tries to choke Flick to death
Okay,
before being
okay.
eaten by a bird.
Okay, yeah, that's
Bugs
true.
Life is fucking great. Bugs Life
You know
is
what's
the
crazy?
backbone
I
of our
watched that
society.
in first grade.
The bird scene fucked with me a bit as a kid. Like,
Oh,
I
yeah,
know
that
it's
thing-
a
that was a
villain,
good
but
idea to
getting
move-
him eaten. Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
But who thought that was a good idea to show that movie to a bunch of like 6-year-olds?
This movie's literally the working class rising up against
Yeah.
the bourgeoisie. Like,
I
it's
just thought it
actually
was
the communist
cool
revolution. It's
Because
so
there was
good.
talking bugs.
It's a great movie. I think a bit of an underrated Pixar gem too.
Yeah, I agree.
It is.
Yeah.
Even though I don't think I would have it that high to begin with,
It's actually not in my top 5.
I don't think it's in my top 10.
It's in my top 10, but it's not in my top 5. We're gonna actually say our tops in a little bit.
Yeah, anything else you guys want to touch on and up?
Well,
Doug
there's-
is fun. Kevin is fun.
Doug,
Yeah.
Doug, the talking dog is very fun. The humor in it is great throughout.
Same director again as Soul, who does
Yeah.
humor.
I mean, the
really
one,
well.
it's early on, but when Russell is first stuck on the house and he's trying to figure out how to get him off, he has the one idea of just lowering down slowly and then he let goes.
That laugh, that's actually the hardest laugh I had during any Pixar film.
Oh, that
Oh,
moment's
that was
amazing.
funny.
It
His face
fucking
is
kills
just
me.
oh shit, I murdered somebody. And he's like, yeah, no, I can't murder a kid.
The quick cutaway again. Like this guy uses cutaways really well.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of now that I'm thinking about it, that's kind of the technique used the most here, and it's fucking good. It works. I love it.
Yeah.
The
What
music
else?
got a award. You said, Tyler, right?
It won
At
best score
Oscars?
that year.
I don't think it's the best Pixar score. I don't think it's even in the top 5.
You mentioned yours before.
So-
like you mentioned Incredibles.
Yeah, so I think Coco has the best score of any Pixar film. That's period for me. Like that's it.
Sure, sure.
It's a musical, so even they
No, not
offer
even that. Like you can debate between the two. I'm not gonna be upset about picking Coco over it.
Yeah.
I would say I like Soul's music more. I like both the use of jazz and I like the music of the afterlife significantly more.
The score, the one I remember from Soul specifically was when he's first riding the elevator or moving platform up to the Great Beyond.
Mhm.
That score by Trent Reznor and Ross Atticus is so good.
I think that the whole score of Soul is fantastic. Personally, I love the jazz. I love that bit of soul when he's in the afterlife and everything.
Also,
I
every time
personally
the
really like
poster comes up and just that music.
Yeah, the music kicks in
Yeah.
immediately. I think it's great. I even love the world of like the music of the Great Before. I think it has great music to it. It's a lot more cheerful, but I find it to be just really good and I don't know. I think it all captures a very good spirit. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I also think Ratatouille has one of the best scores in Pixar. Not just the
I thought
one
of-
where the woman's singing, but also the one whenever the rats are running. I love that bit.
Yeah.
I
I
thought of
think it
that
has
too.
great music overall. I love Toy Story. Toy Story's franchise music is kind of fantastic.
Yeah, we just consider the whole thing as one.
Yeah, consider it as one. It's all great. Incredibles, it has like super bombastic music and it's very unique, but it's really fucking good. Like it is a great
I mean,
soundtrack.
I always felt like the first Incredibles was just the masterpiece in general.
It's
It is.
fantastic. It is in my top 5 Pixar movies. I quite like that first Incredibles film.
Is it? I'm like trying to think of a top 5. It's so hard.
It's hard. I
have
the
a
tier
top
list,
8.
I have a tier list open just for this. I'd recommend get yours open because I'm gonna ask you for your top 5 in a couple of
You
seconds.
bastard.
I'm a bastard.
Do you want to do rankings first before we do top 5, or do we want to do top 5?
Nah, both either doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm good either way. I will say Monsters Incorporated is another one with a really good score, but I think that Up would beat Monsters Incorporated. But I do think it's a bit closer.
Yeah. So all the ones you did mention were the ones I did think you were gonna mention.
Yeah.
I would say that. Yeah, you can make the argument. You can make the argument for a lot of them. I still
feel like
think
Up-
not Coco. I think Up is the best one because I do like the movie way more than you. So
That's fair. I think Up has like one song that everyone knows, but I could not for the life of me remember another.
it's the
song in
montage one.
soundtrack.
It's in the first 10. It's in the first 10 minutes. It's
Yeah,
that one.
It's the one that's most, I guess, emotionally connected to people.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
for me, I can't remember any song but that.
Yeah, I can't really remember any songs out of Up at all.
Yeah. I mean, I also have like a lot of Pixar hot takes apparently, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this has been a hot take episode for a lot of us, truly.
Well,
Actually,
for Faison,
And yeah, based on me. Tyler's the only one here who's going with the flow.
Has it really been hot takes? I feel like they
I
haven't
think
been that
Soul was
hot.
a bit of a hot take. I think your take was hotter before we got on the podcast.
Yeah,
Maybe.
because the more you guys talked about it, the more and more I was starting to come around to it.
Okay, I guess that's fair. That's fair. I mean, a lot of this podcast is literally us trying to convince each other.
Right, because it was just me sitting with my thoughts, and I was just like, I missed some
scariest way to
things,
be.
That's
fair. I think though that's kind of all we really have to say for Up.
Yeah, let's do.
I say Pixar top 5 first. What do you
no,
guys think?
because that gives away the 3-2-1.
yeah.
Oh shit, you're right. Okay, you guys. Okay, 3.
Well, I mean, that's the shorts. So, unless for me it's the shorts, unless you guys want to put something over.
Well, I say that we each pick. I said I
Okay,
mentioned this
Umbrella.
outside the podcast. Yeah,
Umbrella,
we're gonna
umbrella.
pick we're picking our number one short to kind of champion the whole category, and we're basing it off of that one short, not the whole category. So Tyler picks Umbrella as number 3. Faison? He's deep in thought. Ooh, he's weighing many options.
Well,
I'll say my number. I'll say my number 3. It's Up.
my number 3, Soul.
Oh, this is interesting. Already starting on very different lists. I like this. Number 2.
So
It's Pixar shorts, specifically Burrow.
My number 2 is Blue Umbrella. And number 1,
Up.
Tyler.
Up.
I had to assume. And mine is Soul. Soul ended up actually being my favorite watch out of all this. Definitely not the first time I watched it, but the second time really lifted the film for me.
Yeah, I think that maybe if I watch it a second time, I would get it more.
It's interesting. Like I after when I first watched it, I thought this was going to be like, fall probably into my number 2. because I watched this movie before I did anything else for the podcast.
Yeah.
But it's kind of crazy to me how much a second watch of it really, really lifted it for me.
Yeah,
I just find it interesting.
just based off first watch, the message just didn't really sit well with me.
Mhm.
Maybe if I watch it again, I'll understand it a little more.
Maybe
Mhm.
one, yeah, maybe. I mean, that's the way it is. Some movies, I feel like there are certain things that have to be watched at a certain point in time
Yeah.
in order to get like maximum effectiveness. So like
Yeah.
I've said, I've not hit that place with Up, but I do
Yeah,
think
I
I've hit
think
that
I think
place
I
with
haven't
Soul.
hit that place with Soul.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think that's kind of what makes film interesting. You can watch the same movie at 3 different points in your life and have 3 distinctly different emotional responses to it.
Yep.
I find that to be really unique about movies and TV in general. And
Yeah.
that's something I really like to discuss with you guys, which is probably a core tenet of this podcast.
It is.
The whole reason behind this.
Truthfully is. I like to talk to you people. Is basically the reason we came up with this podcast.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, basically. And that's the binge.
But wait.
On that note, Tyler has something to say.
We still
We're
have,
gonna do our Pixar rankings right
Yeah,
now.
I was gonna
Well,
pivot over to that, but
even
Tyler-
before that, we still have the rankings for this guy's the director.
Oh, what
Because
did he
he
do?
also did Up, he did Soul, Inside Out, and Monsters Inc.
Ooh.
I mean, we already know 2 of
We
them,
did
so
Soul Up Inside. Okay.
yeah, Pete Doctor.
All right. I guess we can give these lists like one person at a time rather than try and keep track of 4 things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say my number 1 is Soul. My number 2 is Monsters Inc. My number 3, I kind of want to watch Inside Out again, but you know what? Damn it, I remember really liking it. I'm gonna give it to Inside Out, and I'm gonna end it up.
Wow, that's
I
kind of
know.
surprising.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mine's
Inside
like-
Out. Inside Out. And
I
Up
feel like
real
mine's
close.
completely opposite.
Okay, I'm interested. Let's hear it.
So my 1 is gonna be Inside Out. My 2 is gonna be Up. Where it was Monsters Inc. and what was the other one?
Soul.
3 is gonna be Soul. 4 is gonna be Monsters Inc.
Wow, I was not expecting Monsters Inc. to be that low on your ranking.
My number 1's Up. 2 is I'll give it to Monsters Inc. I'll give Monsters Inc. second. Soul third. Inside Out fourth.
This has been drastically different.
I don't know. Inside Out just really like clicked with me when I watched.
I gotta
it.
watch it again just because I don't remember it as well as I'd like to.
I remember liking it, but I don't remember. I don't remember loving it.
If we ever do Pixar Volume 2, we'll hit up Inside Out. Or you know what? There's probably a better, more vague. We can just have like a feelings category.
We can figure
Yeah.
it out.
Yeah, we'll figure. Well, no, we'll do a psychology category. It's Inside Out, Mindhunter, and
Mindhunters and something else.
Yeah, but I like the juxtaposition.
And now for the final list.
Top 5 Pixar movies. It's got a lot of lists. We're just fucking throwing lists at the wall today. We're like,
It's New Year's. We're
This
getting
one's-
all
it is
the
New
lists
Year's.
out.
These are our New Year's resolutions to give you guys more lists. That's what you
Sure.
want.
This
I
one's
was
hard.
I was going for the year-end list, but all right.
All right, top 5. I can go first because I have mine literally in front of me with the Pixar tier list.
Yeah, you bastard! You prepared for this.
Oh, of course I did. That's why I didn't let you guys. Number 1, Coco. Number
Yeah.
2, Toy Story 3. Number 3, Incredibles. Number 4, Ratatouille. And number 5, Soul. I know, a little bit of an unconventional one there, but I like
Soul
those movies.
Soul beats out. You said Incredibles fourth or
3rd.
okay?
And then Ratatouille
So-
4th.
Okay, so I think I got my top 5. It's actually my number 1's gonna be Coco.
A gem.
Number 2 is gonna be Toy Story 3.
A gem.
Number 3 is gonna be Incredibles. I'm actually gonna agree
Gems.
with you the first 3. My 4, I think, is gonna be Inside Out,
That's fair. I feel like that's fair.
and then my 5th, I'm gonna go with Wall-E.
Okay, so here's my big hot take. I don't think I like Wall-E at all.
At
Now
all.
I've
You
only seen it
bastard.
twice. I've only seen it twice, and I think I need to see it a 3rd time. I really do. But the first time I watched it in theaters, didn't do it for me. No, I watched it 3 times. I need to watch it. Maybe I need to watch it a 4th. I watched it in theaters, didn't do it for me. I watched it at home alone, didn't do it for me. I watched it with family, didn't do it for me. I don't know what are the conditions I need to watch.
Oh,
this
maybe
film and
Finding
like it.
Nemo.
My hot take. I think that one's overrated.
Which one? Finding Nemo?
Hmm.
That's I kind of have it like upper.
I agree it's
upper mid-echelon.
overrated,
I think
'cause
people,
people
might have it
think
a bit too much.
It's
but
like, I mean,
get a better hot.
it's not
take,
the best
Tyler.
movie,
It's a cold take.
like the greatest
Well,
of all
no.
time, but it's really
No,
good.
no, no. But compared to Pixar movies, that's always really high up, and they I mean, the reason they got a sequel is because people have been wanting it for so years, and the sequel came out and wasn't
Fucking hated
good.
it. That was actually that
forget
might be
about
my
Finding Dory.
Finding Dory is my second least favorite Pixar film.
Second,
I really
Cars
don't
2.
like Incredibles 2. No, Incredibles. I really don't like Incredibles 2.
Yeah, I mean they did ruin a great franchise.
Like that movie upsets me genuinely. Like
I
there's
think I'm gonna
something.
stick with my top 5. No changes.
So you ended on what did
Mine.
you end on?
It was the
Coco's one.
Coco,
Coco, Toy Story,
Toy Story
Incredibles,
3, Incredibles,
Inside Out.
Inside Out. Holy shit! What did I put for 5?
I don't think you gave us a 5.
Wally.
Oh yeah, Wally. That's right. That's why that happened.
Yeah.
And
So
Tyler?
I'm looking at my list, or what I think is my list, and I have 6. So one of these
Nope,
is going to be
nope.
no. One of these elementary. One of them is an
Oh,
honorable
okay,
mention.
Okay.
I don't know which it is yet.
Okay,
We'll
well
let you
for
get
my
there.
honorable mention, I want to throw in Ratatouille.
My honorable mention is gonna be Bug's Life.
That's underrated.
The thing is, I
think it's
haven't seen A Bug's Life recently, so like I don't really remember it.
I
mean-
I remember having strong feelings for it.
Bug's Life's not going to crack the top 5, but it's
It's close.
understandable. All right, so my one, I think, is probably Up.
Wow. Okay.
Then is going to be Ratatouille.
Okay. I respect it.
Okay, Ratatouille second. This is going to be tough. Wall-E third. Incredibles fourth. And now this is the tough one. Yep, Toy Story 2 as fifth.
Toy Story
is-
2.
Wow.
Coco is the honorable mention.
Toy Story 2 is it. So you like Toy Story 2 more than 3?
I think Toy Story 2 is my favorite one.
That's respectable. I definitely seen a lot of arguments for that, so I
Yeah.
can understand it. I just definitely was I was surprised to see both Toy Story and Coco this late in the game.
It's hard.
It's hard, and I don't really blame you.
Plus, you had time to fucking think about it, you bastard.
Yeah, you had
That's
like
true.
2 hours.
Although I do think that the only real change that happened was Soul got bumped up on my second watch, because originally I think it was either Bugs Life or Monsters Inc. that was up there.
You had this done
Kinda
yesterday.
Oh yeah, I had this done like yesterday.
Yeah, we had 5 minutes.
Yeah, I
And
know.
you put us all on the spot.
I don't like to make it easy.
We like
for you
talked
guys.
about it while we were prepping, and like we start, and Chris was like, "Yeah, I got my whole list done already." I have every Pixar film ranked.
Yeah, I have Wally and haven't seen because I want to give it one more shot just in case.
Yeah, it's been years since I've seen both Ratatouille and Wall-E, but I
Ratatouille
remember.
holds up.
Well, yeah,
Ratatouille holds
no.
up real well.
It does.
Yeah,
It's
no,
so good.
I've seen that like a couple years ago, so I know that holds up. Wall-E, I know I love the opening to that because there's no dialogue for like 30 minutes and you get a whole story out of it.
Yeah.
I gotta give it another shot. I gotta get in the right mindset for it. I think that way. I think I'm ready for Wally as a person.
Maybe.
I think I don't know. Maybe I think that like the environmental message at that point in time felt really overdone because we've seen it in about 1,000 different movies. And I'm not saying Ferngully did it better, but I also don't remember Ferngully very well, so I might as well.
It does have obviously the environmentalism like theme,
Yeah, health, environmental theme. I don't think it's.
but I don't put that as the forefront of the movie. I put the forefront as Wall-E and Eve's relationship.
Okay. You know what? You know what it might be? Holy shit! It's theme again. It's back.
On
The
that
romance of
note.
the film. No, romance is not a theme, right? Like you can't say like the romance between Wally and Eve is the theme of the movie. The theme of the movie is environmentalism, right?
Well, okay, like let me rephrase that. Like you know what I meant.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I get what
Yeah.
you're saying. Like I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that like I think maybe it's because I don't actually care for the theme of the movie that I don't like Wally.
Could be.
We found another time where
Yeah.
it's a perfectly executed film, but I just can't.
It's a theme again.
God damn it, theme strikes again. And on that note, thank you guys for tuning in to the for you guys, first episode of 2021. For us, we got like 3 hours left.
Last episode of 2020.
Last episode of
filming.
2020. Yeah.
Thank God.
It's over.
It's
all
over.
finally over.
It's over, and it took MF Doom at the last second. Well,
Oh.
announced that it took MF Doom at the last second.
It's been a long year. We're all very tired. Thank you
Yep.
guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed having
Listening.
5 lists. Listening. Thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed having 5 lists thrown at you.
We
The
have
very
15
last-
15 lists.
Yeah, just endlessly. Tyler, do the stuff.
Oh yeah, right. Shout outs. Oh my god, it sounded like you were clearing out. Shout out to Pilot G, SoundCloud/Pilot-G. Check him out. Hopefully he gets getting more stuff in the new year, so look out for that if you're actually following him. Follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube. What else we got? Amazon Music,
Google Play.
Google Play.
We are on Google Play. Leave a review on whatever platform you're using, especially if it's Apple Podcasts, because we can read those. Suggest a theme for an episode, and we'll try our best to get to it.
Send it to me.
Send it to Tyler on Twitter at Tyler Zucker at Twitter. I don't know what
Twitter.com/Tyler Zucker.
Yeah,
that one. Leave a suggestion. We'll do what we can. We're not very organized, but we do our damn best. So, maybe we'll get to it. We'll try. And on that note, I hope you guys have a pretty great 2021.
See ya.
See ya.